Alright guys, the BX is headed home today. Got all the service done on it, got it cleaned up nice. Alright guys, welcome back to Cabin View Firewood. So pretty successful morning. I got the BX returned to my mom's house. Got a load of scrap wood dropped off at the township. Now I'm gonna move this basket of red oak. I want to do down here this afternoon. All right, take you guys along for the ride here. I'm not loading these totes up like I used to. This is going to be a little short of a face cord, but they're just so much easier to move around. Those face cords of oak are so heavy. This MT120 can do it no problem, but I have to stack these totes pretty high. Then you can't stack them on top of each other, so I think this is a better way to do it. That corner, up the hill. No problem. All right, we are keeping the MT120 nice and busy today. So as soon as I got back from the BX drop off, I put the forks on the MT120, loaded up 3 totes of junk wood that I then took down to the township recycling center. And as soon as I got back from that, we put the Vernig grapple back on and got the rest of this junk rounds moved over here. This isn't great stuff. It's okay for campfire wood. It's all tree of heaven and a little bit of green ash. That stuff does not burn very hot, creates a lot of ash. So not good fireplace or wood stove wood, but perfect for these campfire totes that I sell. So I'm going to get the rest of that stuff split up, moved into these totes. I then clean this area up with the grapple a little bit. I'll throw some seed down on this and make this look a whole lot nicer than it does now. And then we'll have a nice little road leading into the lower wood yard here. I want to give you guys a grapple update. So if you've been following along with that, I just bought this Vernig V30 grapple, 48-inch grapple, and I bent the lower bar on this the very first time I used it. So I was pretty upset about that, made a video about it, and got a lot of responses on that video. So I really appreciate that. Now, this is one of the beauties of the Firewood community on YouTube. Jack from Log Cabin Firewood, he actually sent that video to Matt at Lily's Farm and Firewood, because Matt has a guy really close to him that is making his own attachments, and he's got some really nice grapples. He also has some high capacity buckets and some snow pushers. But his grapple, I know Matt bought one not too long ago. He's very happy with it. It is an extremely robust grapple. And those guys got me in touch with Tyler, the guy that makes these things. So that is on the table, as well as possibly getting this thing swapped out with Vernig. So I did reach out to Vernig. My dealer also reached out to Vernig, and I actually got a response pretty quick. So I need to give Vernig a lot of props. Their customer service is really good. I dealt with the guy there. He gave me a call. We talked through what happened. It sounds like they are kind of familiar with this. Like, it may have happened multiple times before. And he said it's usually with guys when they're moving firewood rounds. So what happened to me was I got one of these rounds right in the center here. So both of these clamps bit down onto it, and it bent this lower bar right here in the center and twisted 3 of these tines. So happened really easy. You know, this thing, you know, it's got a pretty good bend in it. Not something that you're going to be able to fix that easily. But what Vernig is offering is 2 things. So we'll see how this plays out in the next week or two. They actually have a different lower bucket for this. And it's one where the tines are a lot closer together, and it's also got an angle piece right here to help tie all this in. Yeah, it's going to be a little more tricky hauling logs on it, but still doable. But those extra lower tines should make that bottom a lot more stronger than this one is. I may actually be able to return this as well, but that's more going to fall on my dealer. So what I'm going to do is at least go take a look at one of those different style lowers and just see if that is something that might work for me and what I need to use this for, and then we'll decide from there. So I got a lot of stuff on the table right now: return, replacement, and possibly buying a completely different grapple altogether. But I am not going to rush into a decision here. I'm going to take my time, make sure I get this thing figured out and get the right grapple that I need for this machine. So that's the update on the grapple. I'll have more on that to come shortly. Let's fire up the Wolf Ridge, the 28C, get through these rounds, and then hopefully start to cut into that pile a little bit, and then I'll finish that pile up on another video, because I want to get this whole section right here cleaned out, bring a bunch of dirt down here, level this out, get it all seeded. It is October 1st today, and it's still nice and warm. So I think I still got a good, hopefully 3, maybe 4 weeks of growing season left before it gets too cold. So let's get to some splitting. right, so that ended up being one of those setup days. I got a lot of little things done, started cutting into this pile of oak because this is my next project over here, this little side yard. Once I get this done, it will finish up this lower log area and then on to the next project. That is going to wrap things up for today, guys. I need to go put some firewood bags together because in a couple days we are leaving to go to Bunyan. So really look forward to going out there for the first time. Looks like a great event. I think we're going to have a lot of fun out there. So I will see you guys on the next one.